This part of your budget project will discuss your apartment. When you grow up, you're going to need a place to live, unless your mother's going to allow you to live forever in her basement, which I doubt. But finding an apartment can be a fun and exciting thing, but you should also be informed about what kinds of costs there are involved. When you move out on your own, you're going to need a place to live. Most people start off with an apartment. Some people could start off with a house, but we would say on average, most people start with an apartment. Some people even need to get a roommate to help pay for the costs of living in an apartment, because living in an apartment can be quite expensive. There are many costs associated with living on your own. Look at the list on the right to see the common apartment living costs. Things like rent, you have to rent your apartment by the month, sometimes by the week. A parking fee, some apartments require you to pay a fee to park your car, and others the parking is included. Pet fees. Not all apartments will take pets, so you're going to have to check to see if your apartment that you're interested in does accept pets. And sometimes there's fees associated with that. That means you pay extra money per month to have a pet. Apartment insurance is a good idea to protect yourself from loss if there's an accident or someone gets hurt at your apartment. Of course, heating your apartment, electricity would be important, water and sewer, internet, a home phone, and cable, or maybe satellite. When you look for an apartment, you want to find a location that works for you. You may want to pay attention to the amenities offered. Amenities are the extra things that come with the apartment. So, for instance, sometimes that would be a tennis court or maybe an on-site gym, maybe a swimming pool, sometimes some hiking trails, depends on the apartment. You want to also look at the cost, the safety, whether you can have a pet, and what the lease agreement requires, because you will have to sign a lease agreement. How long will you commit to the apartment, or what are the rules for living in that apartment? You will need to decide on a studio or an apartment with bedrooms. A studio apartment is basically one big room that would have your sleeping area, your living room, your dining room area, and your kitchen all in one room. Whereas an apartment with bedrooms, a one bedroom would have one separate bedroom from your living area, and a two-bedroom apartment would have two separate bedrooms from your living area. And the amount of bathrooms would also be listed when you're looking for an apartment. You will likely need to have written recommendations to prove that you are a reliable and respectful tenant. A tenant is the person who lives in the apartment, and the landlord is the one that wants to make sure that everything goes smoothly with the lease agreement. And likely they are going to ask for people to vouch for your character, to say that you are a trustworthy person that will not only pay your rent on time, but will also take care of the apartment, not leave a mess, and follow the rules. Now, for your budget project and for budgeting in life, your housing costs should not be more than 30% of your gross monthly income. You know your gross monthly income from your income sheet. So you can calculate 30% of your gross monthly income and decide what you can actually afford for an apartment, keeping in mind that your apartment is not just the rent. It's all of the associated costs that go with that. Let's take a look at your budget project page. Number one is the teacher lesson, so you're watching that now. Number two is what can you afford? Your gross monthly income, you're going to get this from your income page. That's your gross, how much you make before deductions are taken out of your paycheck each month. You're going to put that amount here. To calculate 30% of the gross monthly income, you'll multiply your monthly income by 0.30. And then that answer will be 30% of the monthly amount that you get in your gross monthly pay. Put that amount here. Next, it's time to find your apartment. You're going to use this link. You could also use a newspaper, or you could use an apartment guide if you had that. But this link is going to link us to apartments in our area. For this project, you are going to find apartments in our area because the cost of living here is different than, say, if you were to find an apartment in Los Angeles or in Arkansas or in West Virginia. So we're going to go with the Nashua area, something within About 1 hour of Nashua would be sufficient. You're going to write your property name here. The square footage is how big your apartment is. The utilities included would be things like, is heat included in the rent? Is your cable included in the rent? It will say it in the listing. You're going to find all of these prices, from the monthly rent to the parking fee, the pet fee, insurance. We're going to add the insurance actually at the end. So that's why this is 0. It says you will be added at the end when we do our insurance page. Your heat, if your heat is included in your rent, you can put $0 here. But if it's not included, you're going to put $120 here for the average monthly heat cost. Add $60 for electricity, so move $60 right over here. Water and sewer may be included. You'll have to look for that. If it's not included, you're going to move this amount, $30, over here. Internet, you can have no internet if you'd like to save money, but most people nowadays need internet to get by, either with their work or their school. So we're going to put $70 for internet. Home phone, you can choose none, in which case your amount would be 0. But if you want to have a home phone, you're going to add $15 per month to that line. Cable, you'll need to decide if you're going to have basic cable, just a few channels, premium cable, which is more expensive, and if you want to add Netflix, if you want to add Hulu or Disney Plus or any of those things, you need to look up the price of that and add it to the total. So for instance, if you wanted premium cable plus Netflix, you would add $59 plus $10.99 and have your total amount here. Then you're going to add up all the monthly costs to come here. If you had a roommate, then you are going to actually divide this total amount by 2, because 2 people are going to be sharing that cost. You'll then put half of the cost here, and this will be your monthly apartment cost. If you live alone, you will not split it in half, and your total monthly cost will move from here to here. Now let's take a look briefly at the apartments. When you go to this website, you're going to pick a apartment. Now, keeping in mind that you have already figured out from your budget lesson page what your housing allowance is. You can't spend more than that on your apartment. That's why some of you will need to get a roommate. Your roommate can be invented, or you can use a celebrity's name for your roommate, or you can have a friend on our team or not on our team who's also doing this project. You can work with them, and then you can decide on the apartment and split the costs of that. But remember, you need to fit within this 30% of your gross income for this number. So you're going to have to be careful about which apartments you choose. You'll also have to look whether you want 1 bedroom or 2 bedrooms. There are many just different choices around Nashua, and they're all going to cost different money. They're also going to have different amenities. Like you can see, this one has a pool. So you're going to find an apartment that you think that you want to deal with. Let's see. I'm going to choose Pine Hill Gardens. Let's take a look at Pine Hill Gardens. So Pine Hill Gardens, I see that it has a pool. I see that I can scroll down and start to see the information that I need. Here's my property title. Remember, you're going to put your property name right down here. Underneath that, you're going to see that here's the address. You're going to see monthly rent ranges depending on whether you have 1 or 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, and here's the square footage. So let's take a look. If I scroll down a little bit further, I can see that 1 bedroom and 1 bath is going to be about $1,200, and that's 550 square feet. If I decide on this apartment, I'm going to make sure that I put square footage 550 square feet. I may look down and decide I want a 2 bedroom. If you have a roommate, you must have 2 bedrooms. You may not share a room. That is non-negotiable for this project. In real life, maybe that could happen, but in reality, most people need their own room to have their own privacy. So you can also see a floor plan here. I can see a kitchen, a dining room, a living room, a bedroom, and another bedroom, and this is a shared bath. Some apartments have 2 different bathrooms, one for each roommate. You'll have to decide based on the price. I can see here that there is a cat rent. This lets me know that dogs really aren't going to be allowed. It probably will say it lower, but a cat looks like it is allowed in this apartment, and it's going to cost a cat fee of $25 a month. It also shows that you'd have to pay $25 to do an application and a $100 deposit if you want a cat. That deposit you will get back when you move out if the cat hasn't caused damage to the apartment. It says utilities included. Let's go back to our budget project because that's something we need. Right down at the bottom here, it says utilities included. That's what I'm going to put here. So at Pine Hill Gardens, my rent includes water. I won't pay a water bill. It includes trash. I won't pay a trash bill, and sewer. So it looks like this apartment is not including heat or electricity or cable. It's only including water, trash, and sewer. So that's what I would put in my project. It's also going to talk a little bit about the apartment, what utilities are included. It says utilities included are water, hot water, sewer, and trash. So water, whether it's cold or hot, doesn't matter. There are laundry facilities in each building, so that means you're going to have to go somewhere in the building to do your laundry, and you'll use a reloadable card. So the amenities are an outdoor swimming pool, a wading pool, a basketball court, and a playground. So back in this budget project for amenities, that's the kind of thing that it's talking about. So I can get all of my information right here. My pet policy is only cats allowed. So if I have a dog, I can't live in this apartment. Parking space. It looks like I'm given 2 spaces and it looks like it's for free. I can see that here are some recreation and fitness things, the amenities that I'll have. There's laundry facilities. It looks like the lease length is 12 months. So if I decide to get this apartment, I need to commit to 12 months of living there. I can't just live there for 3 months and move out. Living space, it looks like has carpet and there's an office. In kitchen, it looks like it has granite countertops, an oven, refrigerator, basic things. It does look like it already has air conditioning, although that would make your electricity price higher. And you have access. Right here says access to high-speed internet. You have to pay for that. It does not include it. Looks like there's a grill outdoor. Looks like there's somebody on site for management. So when I have all of that information, okay, I'm going to say I can do a 1 bedroom. I'm going to live by myself. So I'm going to do $1,200 is my rent. When I go to my budget project, that's what I'm going to put right here. Whoops, we're moving on to another thing. You'll put the amount here. The parking fee is none. The pet fee for a cat was $25. Apartment insurance will add later. Heat, you're going to move over the 120, move over the 60. You don't need to move anything for the water and sewer because it's included. So we can have 0 here. Internet, 70. So you understand how you have to do this. You're going to fill in all of your amounts based on your information, and then you will add up your total. If you have a roommate, you can divide that by 2. Okay, make sure you ask for any questions that you have so you can get your apartment numbers correct. Good luck looking for an apartment. I can't wait to see which one you pick.